Welcome to the show, everyone. Today, we're tackling the elephant in the room that's been haunting every stadium from London to Madrid. When VAR was first introduced in 2018, the pitch was simple: minimal interference, maximum benefit. It was supposed to end the era of "how did he miss that" calls. Instead, it's turned into a weekly soap opera of geometry and frustration. For athletes who train to play on instinct and fans who live for the roar of a goal, the current state of video assistant refereeing feels less like a safety net and more like a technicality trap. We're seeing goals stripped away for toenails being an inch offside, and it's time we talk about how this is fundamentally changing the sport we love.
Let's get technical for a second. We've all seen those frozen frames with the red and blue lines, sometimes overlapping so much you can't see the difference. We're calling offsides based on an armpit or a sleeve length. Think about the physics here. A player is sprinting at 20 miles per hour. The frame rate of the camera might not even catch the exact microsecond the ball leaves the passer's foot. When we use 2D lines to judge 3D space with a 1-inch margin of error, we aren't finding the truth, we're chasing ghosts. For a striker, this isn't just about a goal, it's about the psychological toll of not knowing if you can celebrate a perfectly timed run. Penalties awarded because a ball was blasted at a defender from 3 yards away and happened to graze a finger. From a fitness and biomechanics perspective, you can't jump or change direction without using your arms for balance. Asking a defender to play like a penguin with their arms tucked behind their back is a recipe for injury and unnatural movement. It's a penalty roulette out there, and it's ruining the defensive craft.
This isn't just about the scoreline, it's about the athletes' bodies. Football is a high-intensity interval sport. When VAR takes 4 or 5 minutes to make a decision, player heart rates drop and muscles start to cool down. For a player who has spent 70 minutes at peak output, a sudden 5-minute standstill followed by an immediate 100% sprint is an invitation for a hamstring tear. We're seeing more soft tissue injuries in the final 10 minutes of games, and you have to wonder how much these long, static VAR breaks are contributing to that. We're breaking the rhythm of the game and the rhythm of the human body.
We have to talk about the human error that technology was supposed to eliminate. Take the Luis Diaz disallowed goal for Liverpool against Spurs. That wasn't a failure of the camera, it was a catastrophic failure of communication. The VAR thought the on-field decision was a goal, so he said, "check complete." But the on-field call was actually offside. Because of a rigid protocol that says you can't stop the game once it restarts, a perfectly legal goal was ignored. It's the ultimate irony. The system designed to ensure accuracy actually cemented a blatant mistake because of a refusal to be flexible. It's a shocker that still stings.
The biggest phrase in the VAR handbook is clear and obvious. But if a referee has to look at a monitor 20 times in slow motion to decide if a foul occurred, by definition, it is not clear and it is not obvious. Slow motion footage is notoriously deceptive. It makes every contact look like a malicious assault. When you slow down a clip, you lose the context of force and intent. We're seeing red cards for accidental follow-throughs because the still image looks horrific, even if the player had nowhere else to put their foot. We need to get back to the spirit of the game, not the forensic analysis of it.
You don't hear the conversation. In the NFL or cricket, the fans are part of the review process. They hear the logic. In football, it's like a secret cabal making decisions behind a curtain. This lack of transparency is alienating the very people who fund the sport. If we're going to have VAR, the fans deserve to know exactly what is being checked in real time. So, how do we fix this? First, we need semi-automated offside technology, like we saw in the World Cup, to take the human line drawing out of it. Second, we need a time limit. If you can't find the error in 60 seconds, the on-field decision stands. Third, and most importantly, we need to hear the refs. Give us the audio live. Football is a game of passion and flow. It's not a laboratory experiment. Let's use tech to support the officials, not replace the soul of the game. Thanks for tuning in today. Keep training hard, stay active, and let's hope next weekend we're talking about goals, not gadgets. See you next time.